Welcome to another episode of Wealth Beyond Numbers. I'm your host, Denis, and we continue here with our guest, Francia Cabral. And Francia, I want to tell you a story about a client that recently went through the transition of being divorced, and he received a lump sum, and it was close to $1 million. And the first thing he did was he put all that in cash. And as we stand in today's environment, the average CD rate is less than 2%. And this person, when they received that funds from the divorce, stopped working. So what happened, he wasn't working with us at that time, is that he was using the principal of his money. And at 60 years old, that can go really quickly. So when he came to us, we helped them get themselves a budget, get them structure so that they could make their money work for him. And we like to help clients make every dollar run very efficiently. And that's what we're very proud of, helping clients and provide them with tools that can help them see their track and make sure that they have the confidence to know that at any given point, I know where I am financially. And that gives them a lot of peace of mind, especially as they go through a transition like being divorced and now just living only of your own only savings. And $1 million is not that much money anymore. So having said that, I wanted to kind of have you talked about your process of how you help clients, whether there was before getting connected with you, because sometimes clients try to help themselves and they don't know how, and what it is that you bring to the table and the services that you offer in your practice.
So I always say to people, look, it doesn't hurt to have a conversation with a divorce lawyer, even if maybe you're not ready right away, right? I have a lot of people who consult with me maybe a year before they're finally ready to file for divorce. And I think that that's smart, not because you want to start divorce planning or moving assets, God forbid, don't do that. That's not a smart thing to do. But so that you can start to look at what are the important things, what are the things that I do need to be aware of, what are the things that I do need to prepare myself for, such as financially. One of the first things that I tell potential clients is you have to know your numbers. You have to know where is your income coming from all sources, whether that is income from a W-2 or a business or, rental income or interest income from investments, whatever it is. You need to know what all of your sources of income are. Where is all your money coming from? The next thing that you need to know is where is all of your money going? What are all of your expenses? How are they getting paid? Are you living in a deficit? Will you be living in a deficit if you don't have your spouse's income anymore? To help, defray these costs and expenses. The next thing that you need to know is what are all of your assets and what are all of your liabilities? All right. So I think that it's smart just to set yourself up and to know where you're standing. And I think that that's step number one.
Yeah, it's a wonderful advice, Francia. Also, reaching out to the best legal counsel they can have, not just your friend's attorney, because I think that sometimes individuals can make the mistake of just contacting just any attorney, and it can be a mistake because you need to look for the right specialist because your field is a specialty. You do this full time.
Yeah, 100% of my cases are family law cases, and I have been working exclusively in the area of family law my entire legal career as a lawyer. As a paralegal, I did more things, but I think that especially with an area of law that's so sensitive, people don't go to Google to find a divorce lawyer. People will often ask either other lawyers or their friends who have been through a divorce. And those can oftentimes be, the best gauges of, is this somebody that I want to work with? But I think that one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they're afraid or they don't want to spend the money on a consultation with a divorce lawyer because it is pricey, And if you're consulting with 2 or 3 lawyers, now you've invested all of this money, and it isn't money wasted, all right? You need to find the best lawyer for you, and you need to feel them out. You need to sit with them, talk with them, make sure that they understand what is important to you, what your values are. But also you have to be willing to listen, all right? Because it's important, if you're paying a professional for their time and for their expertise, that you listen to the advice that they're giving you. Ultimately, the decision does lie with the client. It is your life. You get to make the decision. But if an attorney is giving you this advice, you have to at least consider, is this advice something that I should follow?
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. And you said you want to feel comfortable working with a lawyer that listens, but also that can, I would say, empower you with tools that can help you. And that's what we like to do in our practice. We like to give clients the more tools possible so that they can make best decisions with their financial life and what they want to do for themselves. And I know that you also provide a lot of tools, but you also taking the extra time as a lawyer to go above and beyond. And you also, I understand, are a coach as well.
Yeah, I am.
So can you tell us more about that and how it relates to what you do?
So actually, my work as a family law attorney led me into getting certified as a life coach in two ways. One, because I found that in many ways I was already coaching my clients. You know, I was helping them through these huge life transitions, and I wanted to do more of that. So I got certified as a coach, but also as a lawyer and a litigator, I was under a lot of stress, and it's a lot of pressure, and it's a huge responsibility. And I was looking for ways to just, deal with my own stress and manage my own life and my own mental health. And I became certified as a coach. I work mostly with people in transition, such as divorces, but also other life transitions, whether it's starting a business or, making changes, career changes, things like that. I don't work as a coach with my legal clients because that would be, I think, a conflict of interest. But yeah, I do both things, and I love it.
I think that experience also makes you more well-rounded and allows you to provide a different perspective and can you tell me more about the services now that you offer at Francia Cabral Law?
So at Francia Cabral Law, we are a full-service family law firm. We do 100% family law all the time. That means that we do prenuptial agreements, postnuptial agreements. We handle paternity cases, which is not figuring out who the father is. Paternity case means that, two people had a child and they weren't married, and now you want to legally establish parental rights and parentage of this child. Custody cases. We have handled international custody disputes, which are extremely interesting, but very, can be very heartbreaking because it's difficult. You can't have a child living in two countries at the same time. We do all kinds of family law things.
Thank you. What are the things that give you the most satisfaction in your line of work?
Having clients walk away from me better than how they walked into my office. That gives me the most satisfaction. Knowing that I did my best for a client and seeing that they are in a better place.
I share your sentiment. We like to do the same in our practices, providing the financial confidence, because that translates to freedom, that translates to peace of mind. And we share that same common. And if you could say one thing about your area of work that you like the least, what would it be?
Unnecessary conflict.
Okay.
I think that people, a lot of times clients, they misunderstand, when I tell them this isn't worth going to court for. It's not because it's not worth it to me, right? Because I make money when people fight, you know? Litigation is expensive. I make the most money when we're in court fighting. But that's not the way I operate, and that's not usually what I recommend to my clients because, like I said, my biggest satisfaction comes from knowing that my clients are walking away better than when they walked in. And litigation doesn't get you there 90% of the time. Litigation is not unnecessary 100% of the time because sometimes, unfortunately, there are situations where it is absolutely necessary. But in 90% of cases, I would say it is not. And it doesn't do anything to better the situation. And I tell my clients this very honestly, very frankly. Like, I don't recommend we go to court over this. Let's handle this differently.
Thank you for sharing that wisdom. Well, that concludes our episode, and the next episode that we're gonna be running it's one I really like to talk about, which is what drives you crazy. So stay tuned for our next episode of Wealth Beyond Numbers. I am your host, Denis Squirrel. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for our next episode. We're gonna talk about what drives Francia Cabral crazy in her profession. Thank you.